Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. Now before we begin, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe, loving space. All right. Now I'm going to be moving your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side. So these are the Moonology, and these are the Queen of the Moon. These will be layered on top of the tarot to really give the moon a voice of her own. And to see how the moon correlates with the tarot. How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. No, right here. Okay. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. I love that they're just flying out, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides with one bonus card. Fantastic. Now the left-hand side, this is your inner self, your personal self. The middle is your emotional self, and the right-hand side is your public self. And of course, this right here is your bonus card. We have the moon set up right here for you. This starts with the September 2nd full moon and goes all the way to the October 1st full moon. So we have the full moon in Pisces, we have the full moon in Aries. So we start off with the 8 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords. I like that progression from 8 to 9, and there's like this, there's a sense of worry. You've worked so hard, and you're afraid that it won't work out. Choose your battles wisely. Most definitely. The 5 of Cups, change your mind, change your life. There is a way that you are seeing things. There's a way that you are moving forward that's going to be quite different than before, and it's actually going to be very freeing for you. This leads you to the 7 of Cups. The repeat of the number 7 shows a need for truth and a need for honesty. Any even little white lies will come out, and and will not sit well with you. They'll also come out for other people. So know here that you're not going to be, Spirit is saying you're not going to be very forgiving of other people's lies, but it's because you're really seeing the depth of their deceptions. And that's going to be something that you're taking in at this time. Also, you have this love of honesty during this time, and you have this desire for for deeper spiritual knowledge, deeper spiritual understanding, which is very much a part of you, Aquarius. Then we have the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And we have the full moon in in Aries here. So here, because Spirit did have me say Leo, there can be a connection with Leo, also with an Aries coming forward. Sagittarius, a little bit less, but it can also be very powerful, especially if you have Sagittarius in your chart. Fire sign energy is really coming out during this time. We have the Nine of Cups, linking the two nines together, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Cups, a Nine of Sorrow, and a Nine of Joy coming in. So you are going to have that duality here, and you have the Hermit, which is the ninth card in the Major Arcana. And so here you have 9 3 times, and this is a sense of turning inward, of understanding, and you're really working these two things out, because you have the doubts and the fears, and you have the blessings coming forward, and you're seeing, where do I stand? Where do I want to be? How do I want to be? And this leads you to judgment, to a rising up, to your angels really guiding you. The Ace of Pentacles, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of prosperity, joy, happiness. These are the seeds that you are planting. The Wheel of Fortune, things are changing, like how you have the 9 here going into the 10. You have this sense of working towards something to move you forward with the repeat of the number 9. And here you have things changing, things guiding you forward. And then you have the 4 of Swords. You have this sense of needing to rest, to really take in everything that you have been through and everything that you desire. We have the Ace of Swords right here. So you have these gifts coming in during this time, Aquarius, that are really quite profound for you. Are you taking them right away? No, this is something where you're going to be ruminating on them a bit more. You're going to be stewing with their powers, their understandings, kind of getting to know the way that you want to move forward in your prosperity and in your mind, and seeing the doors that Spirit is opening for you. Now, it can be in your subconscious message. At the very end, we will see if you have the Magician, then obviously you take both of them. If you have one of the court cards of the Pentacles or of the Swords, they are also taken. But here, it is a time where they're guiding you, they're helping you look forward and gain a deeper understanding, because this Pisces full moon is really a moon that you are quite connected with. This is a full moon that really has you embracing compassion, understanding, truth, and dignity. And this is the mystic's moon, this is the dreamer's moon, the poet's moon, and of course the witch's moon. But this is all because this is the high priestess moon. And that's going to be a power that's really quite intense for you, because you're having a gift here given only to you. And that is very powerful, very deep, very meaningful. And it really links to the core of you. And as you are embracing this moon, as you are seeing the spirit world, as you are connecting with things so much more intense than what others are connecting with, because you're connecting with this moon on a much higher level. I see this as a moon that purges, that cleanses, that releases so much negativity that was held before, and that moves you forward in a sense, and you're really going to feel it over your heart. That releases you in a sense that makes you, stand taller, stand stronger, but also be so much more in tune with what you really want, instead of just settling, instead of just sitting there and thinking, oh, well, that's okay, right? That should be fine. And you're going to find that as this power leads you forward, this power of intensity, this power of understanding, you balance the spiritual with the practical. You balance this aspect of yourself. Do know that because you're feeling the world so intensely, this leads to a craving of sleep, of meditation, and of prayer. But this can also lead to the flip side, which is alcohol, drugs, and sleep to find oblivion instead of to rejuvenate and heal the body. So know here that as you're moving forward, as this spiritual connection is tightened, and as the veil between the spiritual world and the practical world is the thinnest, you are highly, highly intuitive and sensitive to the world around you, which can make it very overwhelming, which is why we have here with the heart, you moving forward with the hermit, you moving forward in your truth, in your understanding, in your passion, and in your power. This is a great moon, even during the full moon, if you can, to take a nice long bath, to take a nice hot shower. Something that connects you with water here is going to really move you forward. Make sure that you're drinking enough water, that you're getting plenty hydrated, because that is also going to have a big effect on you during this time. Now we move to the 17th of September, and this moves us to the new moon in Virgo. It's a time to give rather than to take. And it is a time to see the prosperity coming forward. Now, I see this not as, okay, so what Spirit is saying is you're going to want to interpret this as, I have to give to everybody else and not take anything for myself. It's a time to give yourself this sense of accomplishment, this sense of pride, this sense of understanding, without taking on more responsibilities, without taking on other people's pains and hurts and sufferings. And so this is going to be a very powerful time for you, because you're going to want to take on more. And you're going to want to sit there and say, I need to be selfless. But you can't not think about yourself. You just can't. It just doesn't work. We ignore pain, we ignore this, hollowness within ourselves, and it just builds and builds over time until it becomes super intense. So here, you're going to see a beginning in a balance of a time to give rather than to give respect to yourself, to give understanding and joy and peace. And it moves you to the beginnings coming forward, and it moves you to a new start coming in your life, a new way to move in pride and dignity of self. These are the seeds that you are planting, and this is the way that you want to move forward. And you're seeing a nurturing for them during this time. This moves you to the Aries full moon, which is on the 1st of October. And the Aries full moon, here, it says a fiery climax approaches. A fiery connection, a passion and desire moves you forward. All right? You're going to feel this starting around the Virgo, and that's why you have Virgo right here. Starting around the Virgo new moon, you're going to see something bigger coming. And this is a sense here with Aries. This is a sense of dedication, determination, fire, passion, truth, coming forward and guiding you. Now, your spirit animals for this time are the bear spirit and the owl spirit. And these are really great spirit animals to have for September, because the bear spirit grounds you and the owl spirit lets you fly free. And these are aspects in the world, Aquarius, that you absolutely need in order to thrive. Not just survive, but to thrive. Now, the bear spirit is here. It says, take time out. Take time out to look at the seeds you're planting over your heart. Take time out to see really what's important, because the spirit brings with it dominion over the self, authority, and a larger-than-life kind of personality, presence, all right? This is also a spirit animal that's very protective of those who are weaker. And so, of course, a lot of things are weaker than a bear. So you're going to feel this spirit animal right around you. You're also going to feel this need to want to protect those who are weaker. Just remember, you cannot keep a person from their lessons. They have to learn their truths, their ways forward. And you can't take that from them. You can't, because you're going to want to ease their load. That's really what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to sit there and say, you know what, I can take this on. It's better if I do it. If I have 15 million things on my plate, that's fine. I just don't want you to be overwhelmed with your 5, And that's going to be your mentality. But the mama bear spirit of the bear is coming in, and it's like, listen, let them carry what they need to carry, because they're never going to learn. Because yes, a mama bear spirit is astoundingly protective. I know people say, what about the papa bear? Papa bear is not as protective as the mama bear, because the papa bear goes off. In the wild, it is the mama and the cubs. And she does everything to protect those babies. If you stumble across a bear's den, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. So here, there is that sense of this mama bear spirit looking out for you, protecting you, guiding you, moving you forward. And then we have the owl spirit coming in. You see clearly now, and you do. You see clearly. You see with a greater depth, with a greater understanding. Why? Because the high priestess is right there with you. Right? This is a depth and a connection with wisdom. This is sharp vision and keen insight, and this is listening to your intuition. And as you do so, you're seeing beyond the mask that people wear. So for you, the full moon in September is going to be kind of overwhelming. It is. And you might have to say to Spirit, you know what? I need you to kind of back up just a little bit. You might need to say to the owl spirit, I understand the wisdom that you're giving me, but right now it's overwhelming me. And I cannot be this overwhelmed. And ask for the protection of the brown bear spirit. See the bear spirit just around you, protecting you, kind of moving forward, saying, you know what, no, kind of being like, what a dodgeball person, like guarding you from being hit from all different angles. It's like, okay, I get this. I understand this. And then it moves you to October. And the spirit animals for October are the crow spirit and the dove spirit. And you would think these are complete opposites. Crows bring death. In Irish mythology, the crow spirit is the Morgan, right? And the Morgan is the death spirit. But this is not a harbinger of an ending. This is a harbinger of sacred law and great truth and change. And so here it says co-create with spirit. Move forward in your power. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm feeling a tingling right at the very top of my head as soon as I pick these two up. So here there can be that's where these spirit animals perch on you. That's where you feel this power, this understanding, this insight, and it changes you. It changes you, and there is that kind of dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, but it's not painful, it's necessary. And it can be a little bit sorrowful, but it is also profoundly and brilliantly you. And as you move forward in this truth and in this understanding, you transform, right? You start to trust in your personal integrity and intuition. You start to sit there and see your worth. And then as you see your worth, you're speaking your truth. You're moving forward in a personal transformation that brings messages to you, that brings passion and power and understanding. Now, as you do this, right, we have the dove spirit. And so, of course, a flock of crows is called a murder of crows. And then we have the piece of the dove spirit coming in. So again, it seems contrary, but it's not. Because here you're opening to change with the crow spirit. And crows are so astoundingly smart. It's going to be something that you can overlook. With crows, with ravens, with birds that kind of look like crows, if you have them around you, you're going to sit there and think, not pretty, not nice. And yet you look closer and you'll see this indigo and you'll see this, this deep royal blue in their feathers. And you'll start to see that there's beauty. There's beauty where usually we overlook it. And this brings you open to the peace that the dove is bringing you. Okay, the dove spirit. And all the doves, are not these white, beautiful birds. They can be any color. And so here, you might find that you hear a dove call, but you don't realize it because it doesn't look like the quote-unquote traditional dove. And so here, the dove brings messages of peace and hope, especially to those of us with hurt hearts and carrying a lot, So here you have those messages of hope and peace coming to you. You have the sacred law and the compassion of the crow that is letting you be able to take in this healing so much more readily. This is gentle compassion, which you're still kind of bathed in from the full moon in Pisces. And as you embrace this, you're releasing the pain that has held you back. You're releasing the hurt that has defined you for so long. And you're saying, you know what? That's just not me anymore. And for a lot of you Aquariuses, you're going to be sitting there and saying, why? Why hasn't it taken me so long to get here? Why couldn't I have done this earlier? And Spirit is really saying you would not have the knowledge you have now. You would not bring to the table what you bring to the table now. And everything has been leading you to a point of power. And that's the Eight of Pentacles. It's slow work and dedication and determination that guides us. You're going to find yourself very connected to compassion deities during this time. And that's really where you're going to feel very comfortable, Aquarius, building a foundation off of compassion. So it can be Kuan Yin, it could be the Virgin Mary, it can be Hestia, it can be, even seeing Esther, there can be all these connections to compassion that come forward. And as you build with them, and as you are creating, and as you see everything that you have been building, because a lot of times, Aquarius, what you are super good at doesn't come with a paycheck, or doesn't come with the awe that other people get. And so you'll start to diminish. You'll start to think, oh, what I'm good at doesn't really matter. And you'll start to not build that gift. Spirit is saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Build your passion, build your power, build your truth, and stand in it. Because you are astounding. And move forward in that astounding nature. Because as you do so, it brings up a lot of doubts and fears and, kind of the evil demons that live inside our heads that say, oh, really? Oh, really? You think you can do that? You think you can move forward that way? You think you can be successful? You think you can be happy? Seriously. Look at all the times you've messed up. Look at all the hurt and the pain and the disappointment that's on your shoulders because you take on so much more than you need to. Aquarius, Spirit is saying here, it's not all your fault. And this moon shows a lot to you. It shows a compassion for yourself that helps you build the future that you want. It shows you releasing the worry, the doubt, and the fear. It shows you taking a narrative that was spoken over you when you were small and saying, no, that's not my truth. I'm not carrying this with me anymore. And as you are releasing this, as you are freeing yourself, I mean, it could be from a parent, it could be from a step-parent, it could be from, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a teacher, a friend, a lover. We carry our scars, and they play into our insecurities, or they helped to make our insecurities. And here, with the 9 of Swords, as we look at this truthfully and honestly, you will see that a lot that keeps you worried, that keeps you small, isn't your story. It was somebody else's. And you just simply inherited it. And we're too sensitive. We're too kind, okay, not to think that it wasn't your fault. You took on their pain. And their pain became yours. And it became part of your journey. And yes, it was supposed to be there because it's there. All right? But you're also rising above it and being freed from it. And we can see that here in the public arena with what Spirit is showing. And this leads you to the 7 of Wands. Now, yes, of course, that owl spirit right there. So this owl spirit comes in and you are so connected. You are so connected to the High Priestess. You are so connected to the passion and power of the way that you want to move forward that it is overwhelming at times. And it really is. And so here, with the 7 of Wands, what you're looking at, what you desire, what you want, you're going to feel as you break out of the shell, as you see your hard work and you break out of the doubt and the fear and the negativity of the 9 of Swords and you step into your power, all of a sudden you're going to be ready. You're going to be ready to fight for what you want. You're going to be ready to stand up for what is your truth. You're going to be ready for it. And you're going to stand your ground, right? But not every battle. Not every battle has to be a fight. Not every opposition has to be an opponent. And you might say, yes, it does. Every battle is a fight. Every opposition is an opponent. Like those just go together. And Spirit is saying, no, they don't. Because here's the thing. And this is something, it's very interesting because Spirit has been saying this to me over and over again. Do not fill your mind with people who would not care if you were on fire. You know that old saying, they wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire? That's it. Do not fight for or against people who wouldn't care, who just wouldn't care. Stand in your truth, stand in your glory, stand in your compassion. It does not mean you aren't compassionate and open your heart and want so much more for the world, but you're not feeding into their anger. You're not feeding into their narrative. You're just not. You're making your own story, Aquarius, because this is your age and this is your time. And as you're moving forward, you're seeing things so much more truthfully, and a voice that has been drowned out by what the rest of the world wants, what the rest of the world says is important, all right? What made you doubt yourself. You're sitting there and you're saying, no more. No more. And that's what leads you to the 5 of Cups. That's what leads you to changing your mind and changing your whole entire life. To opening up the door and being like, yeah, I see. Turning around and seeing that 2 cups still stand. 3 cups have fallen. Okay, fine. But 2 cups still stand. And that's the 2 of Cups. That's the Minor Arcana Lover's card. That's healing. That's love. That's you connecting with your angels and your spirit guides. That's you moving forward. Cleansed and powerful. It leads you. This shift leads you to the 7 of Cups. Seeing what you desire. You want to do so much. Your heart is like, yes, it is my time. This is my compassion, my love, my joy, my truth. I stand here. See yourself. See yourself being the success that you want to be. Moving forward in that truth, in that power, in that understanding. As you do so, you have 8 counting down to 7. It's like, yes. As you do so, you free you. As you do so, you move forward. Now, the Seven of Cups warns against imagination. All right? And I don't really like warning against imagination because I feel, okay, there is that quote from Albert Einstein where he says imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge can be limited, but imagination spans forever. And of course, I'm paraphrasing. But there is this sense here of there being this vast expanse for you, for your mind, for what you desire. And the reason why we're saying here, visualize instead of imagine. Because imagine is like, wouldn't it be nice if? Imagine is, it's no big deal kind of thing. And it's a nice daydream. It's a nice way to pass the time. Visualization is, this is my goal. This is my dream. This is where I can feel and see myself standing. This is my powerful truth. And that's where the King of Wands comes in, because you start to see that and you have this beautiful connection with the spirit world, with those who have passed, wanting you to move forward, wanting you to achieve more. And it leads you to the King of Wands. It leads you to this connection with this full moon in October, on October 1st. It leads you to a strong Aries presence, right? And it leads you to a sense of power, determination, and dignity. Also, again, strong Leo presence here for some reason. And here, there is this sense of moving towards a greater goal and a greater power, a greater sense of self, a putting the crown on your head and seeing where it is that you want to be, how it is that you want to move forward, what it is that you desire. As you do so, you see you. As you do so, you are connecting with the reason you get out of bed in the morning, with what you want from life and how you want to be. There are going to be times where you feel like there are more responsibilities on your shoulders than you would like. The kings have that way of being. But you're also going to find that it's through being proactive. It's through being, dedicated and determined and passionate and powerful that you achieve so much. And as you achieve so much, the blessings start coming in. Now, you're not going to see them. You're also not going to think you achieve. You're still going to be this worry, this doubt, and this fear. Give yourself credit. If you would compliment somebody else for doing what you have done, compliment yourself. Okay? Sit there and start addressing your power. Start claiming it. Because it moves you to the Nine of Cups. This is blessings and beauty and your angels with you and a sense of success and power. And as you are embracing the Nine of Cups, you are embracing you. And here, it is going to be very easy for other people to see this and for you to think, it's no big deal. It's just Tuesday. I'm just doing what I do. But there is a beauty to you. There's a power to you. There is a brilliance to you. That is a very big deal. And it moves you forward in a way that you hadn't expected. And as other people see this, okay, and they see it shining from your heart. I mean, here you are looking at what your heart really wants to focus on. You're looking at what you really desire from life and from yourself. You're looking at your passion, your connection, your dignity, your respect, your power, your intuition. And the world is opening up towards love and towards beauty for you, and you turn inward. Why? Because, well, first of all, it's a good place to be. This is almost all of September up to the 22nd, right? Because the Virgo time frame is from August 23rd to September 22nd. And you are going to find that you turn towards your truth. You turn towards your power. You turn towards your stars. And the stars, of course, are the highest form of perfection that ancient man had. So you start to see the highest form of what you want to create and cultivate, and it's not out there. It's not going to be found, anywhere else than inside you. Now, yes, you need to be inspired. Now, I'm not talking about not finding inspiration. Being inspired, looking at the bigger picture, sitting there and knowing where your wonderment lies is so powerful. And that's what you're seeing. That's what you're gaining a powerful truth of. And as you turn inward, and as you say to the world, what you're selling me is not right for me. Because for a lot of you Aquariuses, what the world tries to sell and how they try to make us feel as if, wow, you'll be really happy when you have all of this and all this accolade, okay? And all this everything. When you're thin enough and tall enough and pretty enough and young enough and, everything like that. And when you're everything that cannot be achieved, then you will be happy. Aquarius, in your soul, you never buy it, you never bought into it. Or you tried it, and you still try it. You still try to move forward towards unreasonable expectations. All right? And instead of sitting there and saying, it's not for me, it's kind of like, I will make this work. I will, I'm dedicated. And that's also something you're turning away from. And you're changing your whole entire life because of it. Who you are is not wrong. And this moon is giving you the compassion, not only to see what you desire from life, but also to see what you love about your life, about your way of moving forward. And if you're saying, Dane, I don't love anything about now, I just don't, that's fine too. Because you're moving towards a change, because you're being resurrected, you're rising up, you're moving towards something greater, something bigger. You're connecting with your angels, with your spirit guides, mostly here with your angels, as they move you forward, as their flaming fire, cleanses you and lets you see what it is that you desire, especially on this earthly plane. You're going to see that you have a shift. You have a shift of, what practically makes sense. So as you have this combination of the practical and the spiritual coming forward, this balance, you're also having this sense of what is my practical? What do I desire? Not what does everybody else desire of me? And as you see this, and as you gain this understanding, and as you look at it, you rise. And I know people sit there and say, Dane, I do not want to rise anymore. Okay, I'm tired of people saying, I rise from the ashes. But every single day when you wake up, you rise from the ashes of sleep. Every single day, you have the ability to transform your future. You do, inch by inch, second by second. Power by power. You are moving forward, and you are rising. And this is something that's very important for you. This is something that's very important for everybody. But here you're going to find it as being part of a powerful truth and an intense understanding. It leads you to blessings coming as you rise, as you release negativity, as you see what you want within your heart, within your soul, within yourself. You embrace the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of prosperity, of wealth, of bounty, of beauty. These are the seeds that are planted within the earth. This is what we grow off of, what nourishes us. And here, you are taking in this gift, and you are letting it become part of you. And it's becoming a part of you all during this time. It's not going to be taken, it's not going to be at one moment that you can see that this is taken. And you might find that you're still working towards this prosperity, this understanding, well into the next lunar cycle, well into, the next year. But this is something that is driving you forward. This is something that, resonates so deeply with your heart that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to move forward this way. And these are the seeds that are being planted to have the garden come up the way that you want it, the way that you need it. And why life is compared to a garden is because both have to be tended and both have to have the weeds pulled out, or else they choke what we are trying to grow. Just as we have to pull out other people's negativities, hurts, pains, disappointments, despairs. As you move forward, and your hurts, pains, disappointments, despairs, as you move towards your goals, because things are changing. The Wheel of Fortune shows that in the public arena, even though you are rising, and even though you have these gifts around you, and people definitely see it, they see you as having this power, this charisma to you, which is really quite intoxicating. It really draws people in and has people pour out more of themselves than they normally would, which you might feel is a good thing or a bad thing, but it is a powerful thing, is what you're going to see. You then move to the 10 of the major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune, and you find yourself knowing that things are changing. And a part of you is going to be like, yes, things are changing, I cannot wait. But I do not care how good the change is. It always scares us. It always does, because we are creatures of habit. And so here you have this beautiful change coming in. And you have this overwhelming sense of things will never be the same. Why? Because the change comes forward. Is that going to stop you? Absolutely not. Is it going to be in the back of your mind? Yes, it is. And if you let that fear build, okay, it will be there forever. It will make you feel as if nightmares are all that you have to move forward with and in. And that's not your truth anymore. And that was never your truth, but it is something that we need to learn. And so you have a changing of the seasons. You have the changing of the tides. You have this sense of huge change coming forward for you. This great way of looking at things and seeing what you desire and seeing what it is that you want and seeing where it is that you want to be. And life is changing in a very powerful, very profound way. And you feel like you're on a roller coaster ride. You have the highs, you have the lows, the lefts, the rights, and you're like, my goodness. And sometimes it is going to be too much. And that's why you're going to get a bit defensive here with the Seven of Wands. It's like, I have worked so hard. I am not losing this. And you are going to see. I'm going to fight my good fight. And that's cool. But you don't need to have everybody be on your side. It's actually going to be better for you if you don't. Because you're letting go of baggage that is not needed. And you're turning towards a truth that is so beautifully you that it is breathtaking. And yes, you will feel overwhelmed at times, but you will also feel empowered and emboldened. It leads you to the Four of Swords. Understand and respect the journey that you've been on. Seriously. The Four of Swords is doubts and disappointments and battles that have been lost and battles that have been won, and this need to just take it all in. You might find yourself becoming astoundingly sleepy. You just need to rest. It's not for oblivion. It's for a connection. And it's giving yourself credit, where credit is most absolutely due. To have the power, to have the beauty, to have the success that you want within your life. To move forward. To move forward and be blessed. Look at everything that you've been through. Everything that has shaped you and forged you and helped you to move forward. And embrace that. Openly and honestly. And look at it as a battle well fought. You move towards a greater sense of love and a greater sense of peace as you do so. And then we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of knowledge, understanding, truth. And for you, Aquarius, as an air sign energy who is represented by the swords in the minor arcana, this is a gift just for you. And you see yourself moving towards it every single day. You see yourself guided by it every single day. You see yourself enhanced and emboldened. This is cutting through the doubts and the fears that hold you back. This is looking at things, and this is a honing of skills that you have been working towards for years upon years. Sometimes even decades. Where it's kind of like, I'm just not there yet. It's just not ready. I just need to know a bit more. And now all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, I see it. I get it. I understand it. This permeates every single aspect of this lunar phase. It does. Where knowledge comes in. And knowledge to blessings. Knowledge to prosperity, to a bounty, comes forward. And that's going to be very powerful for you because it's really going to affect you. Yes, it affects you emotionally, but it's going to affect you in the arena of your passionate power to move forward in the life that you want, not the life that others want for you. All right? And yes, those might be the same exact thing. For some of you Aquariuses, yes. But for others, it's like, listen, I know my truth. And I believe in me. And I am standing in my corner, fighting my good fight. And I will not veer from that path. This leads you to the moon. So let's see here. How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. All right. How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the September 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So we start here with growth, fear, and sovereignty. Oh, I like that. I love this beautiful connection you have with the crow spirit. That's what they shone through so brilliantly. Nourishment. Work through your fears. Your dreams need a practical plan. Nothing will come of the situation. Expect powerful change. Your commitment is being tested. So there's going to be something here that is like, it's big. It's a big deal. And you're going to think, oh my gosh, this is the biggest deal. And it's not. It's actually not going to be as big a deal as you think it is. So there's something here. It doesn't mean that it has to be a big thing. But it is something that shows you, that shows growth within your personality, within yourself, that shows you the real truth of what you're moving towards. So that just has to be addressed right off the bat, because you have the void of course right here. And the void of course is what we expect always kind of goes pear-shaped. It always does either the opposite, or nothing that we're really focusing on comes to fruition that leads us forward. And here there is that sense, but there is also a sense of unexpected changes leading you forward, of things that you thought, oh, this is going to have a really big payoff, not being that big a payoff, and then something coming from kind of left field that is really divinity driven, being so much more impactful, so much more powerful for you. And it leads you to growth as an individual. Here you have growth leading you forward as you address your fears. And it's not you sitting there and saying, okay, I'm going to sit there and have this, deep philosophical conversation with myself and release myself of all the fears that have ever held me back. You could do that, but for a lot of you Aquariuses, it is going to be a sense of, I'm tired. I'm tired of being held back. I'm tired of saying, oh, I can't do that. I'm tired of thinking less of me than other people do. And I'm tired of playing into a narrative that I never wanted. And that is your growth. And that is you being set free from this fear and truly connecting with your sacred law and trusting in your intuition and your integrity to move you forward. And as you do so, you embrace the sovereignty of the moon. You embrace the queen of the moon. Your sovereignty, your truth, your power, your understanding. And it leads you to a nourishment of your soul, a nourishment of yourself, and a bounty that you cannot believe. And as you do so, you work through your fears, because it's not going to be like a one-time deal. It's going to be okay, this is my thing now. I will not be held back. I will not be kept silent. I will be working through this, and I will be empowered because of it. And as you are, it leads you to your dreams needing a practical plan, and you wanting a practical plan for them. That's why you connect here with the Hermit. You pull inward around the 17th of September, which is the new moon. Okay, this would be a fantastic time to really start connecting with that practical plan to bring your dreams forward. Nothing will come of this. There is something that you think, wow, that's going to be the real payoff. That's going to be where I need to put all my time and all my effort. But nothing comes of it as you expect. So here it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Look at things differently. Open up the doors. See what comes. Because it leads you to expecting powerful change. And as the powerful change moves you forward, your commitment to what you want, your commitment to what you desire is tested. And you have to have that sovereignty within yourself, that belief, that divine right to rule and to be successful within your life and within the gifts set before you. Your subconscious message for this time, from Luna, is attraction. You are attracting to yourself what you desire, what you want, and what you need. And this is also a sense of, this is attraction, yes, but this is action, okay? And this is a sense of connecting with the way that you need to move forward, with letting yourself free to express yourself and to open yourself to the universe and universal energy, and to be guided towards something so much more. And as you do so, you have your subconscious. This is deepened by the subconscious message, again, of the moon, where it says the energy is gaining momentum. The energy from your action, from your expression, is gaining momentum and is moving you forward towards something more. And I love that you have the masculine here, the lunar god. So you have the queen of the moon and the lunar god coming forward. You have the masculine and the feminine coming together. And that just very much drew me in right now. And so you have this power that is guiding you, that is being a part of you, that you are looking at. Excuse me. And as the energy gains momentum, as you are led forward, you see the subconscious message of the tarot, which is the Knight of Swords. This is you definitely taking that gift of knowledge of the Ace of Swords and utilizing it. And this is, again, a gift just for you, because you are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. And as the Knight of Swords comes forward, as your passion, your truth, your determination, this is, first of all, the fastest moving knight. So there's a speed to you, there is a dedication, there is a honed insight and intellect that moves you towards something great and moves you towards the greatness that you want. You're going to think, I should slow down. Don't. Think things through, yes. Don't be rash, or, don't be rash and think it has to happen right now. But speed towards your goals and don't hold back. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. So let's end with a clearing of this energy path, of moving forward in our truth and our power, of raising of our positive energy as we embrace where we want to be and as we embrace the truth of our souls. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Aquarius.